So we're on the floor today, folks, because I have a very, what should we say, tender, vulnerable topic to share with you guys. And I just wanted to be so real and transparent about what I have learned from being overweight. I have learned a lot. In the past 2 years, I have carried 20 plus pounds on my usually smaller frame. I didn't have to do much, and I was usually at around 130, and I'm 5'4". That's the mid-range. My joints felt good. I mean, I carried some like flab. It was more like excessive fat, like adipose tissue, because my muscles weren't as defined. But I've always had a muscular, strong frame, just surrounded by some nice padding, you know, some cushion. But these past 2 years, I do have a video where it kind of briefly started. I think I was like 6 months into gaining weight and I couldn't figure out what was going on. If you want to check that out, I will link it here. And I also recently posted a video about what to do about being frustrated that your body won't change, that you can't lose any weight, because it's maddening. It is absolutely maddening when all of your other tools that you've used to shift and change your body don't work anymore. It's like, what the fuck, right? So that video is here if you wanna check that out. I just talk about frustration and the tools that you can use to kind of navigate that space, because here we are. I am still 15 to 20 pounds over, and I just am 2 years in to like holding on to this weight, and things would happen and I was like, oh, it was this, and I'm holding on to this emotionally, and I'm not letting go of this, and nothing has budged. So I've been talking about weight for at least a year now, and I have learned a lot from being fatter. I have learned a lot from being overweight. I am carrying more weight on my frame that is comfortable. So every body is actually different, but for my frame, the extra weight, it's pressure on my joints. I can feel it. It doesn't feel good. It's heaviness, like legit. So even though 20 pounds may not sound like a lot, it is a lot on my bones, on my joints, on my frame that I'm not used to. Like I said, I would hang out in the 128, 135, like that kind of window there, and really not ever kind of go over, and now I'm like way over, girl. So I'm in the process of building muscle and transforming my body into this strong ass, badass woman. So that's happening. But I did want to share with you guys things that I learned from being overweight. And I still am overweight. So learning, I should change it to learning, things I am learning. But these things I have learned and have integrated, and it's really important. There's a lot to integrate. If you're carrying extra weight, there is a reason. That is the first thing I learned, that it is not by accident. There is a reason that my physical frame is carrying weight, and I don't have to understand it. But I do have to believe that my body is helping me in some way, and the answers will come or not. But I do believe that my body is doing it for a reason. I still don't know exactly why. It's not as easy as calories in, calories out, or exercise more, all that. Like, I have tried all the tips, guys, all of them. Even my old tricks, when those didn't work, I was like, okay, let me try some new. And I brought in some new ideas and new processes, and nothing has changed. So it really has brought me into the present moment, like, okay, well, fuck, right? That's really all I can say. I had to trust that my body was doing this for my benefit. For my benefit. There is a reason it's happening. There's a reason I am still 2 years later, as painful as that is, still holding on to this weight. That's number one. So ladies, if you are carrying extra weight, I'm gonna tell you that it is for a reason. Your body is doing it for a good reason. Not to hurt you, not because you're bad, not to shame you. That's the other piece. It put a mirror up. Like, what does it mean to be fat? What does it mean to be overweight? Because my body wasn't shifting, I had to really look at that. Well, fuck, I'm overweight, I'm fat, so what does that mean? And I'm gonna tell you what it meant for me is I'm lazy, I'm worthless, I can't get my shit together, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm unattractive. I mean, you name it, just awful stuff I have related to carrying extra weight, to being fat. I don't necessarily think that of other people. When I see someone, I'm like, oh, you're beautiful. But internally, I'm like, oh, you're garbage because you got a roll or flabby, whatever. Yeah. So when the weight wouldn't go away, it really forced me to look at my idea around what it means to be overweight. And sloppy, that was another one. I'm sloppy. Ouch. So you guys know I love to do the inner work. I'm all, oh God, such like an inner architect. It's my jam. It wasn't pretty, it was awful, awful. And I'm pretty good now. I'm pretty good now. I really adore and love my body, and I'm all right. I'm all right with being cool with this weight staying on, because, you know, our bodies change. They absolutely do. I know that for a fact. I've watched it in my own body. So this weight is not a death sentence. It will not be here forever, but it is here now. And there is a good reason that I may or may not ever know. And then what it means to be overweight. What does it mean to be fat? And I had a whole slew of garbage stuff in there about what it meant for me to be overweight. None of it was good. Zero. None. But skinny, whoo, skinny, thin, laundry list of wonderful things. So I got to navigate that dynamic of like, wow, my picture is pretty tainted on what it means to be thin and what it means to be overweight. So after those two elements, the next thing that I really came to realize was there wasn't something wrong with me, there was something wrong with the clothes. Every woman knows what it's like to go in her closet and put on a pair of clothes that is tight. Especially it would be like my pants wouldn't fit, or I would have like this roll hanging over, or the side business, or it's awful, ladies. And I used to internalize that as something was wrong with me. The pants were fine. They were perfect. I was the fat ass who couldn't fit in them. Okay, that's backwards, totally backwards. So I flipped that around. I got rid of all of my clothes that didn't make me feel beautiful, that didn't make me feel wonderful. I do have some things that I love and adore, and you know, if I don't ever fit in them again, that's fine, but I love them, they're beautiful to look at. But I got rid of all the clothes that I didn't love and that made me feel really gross about the current body that I lived in. So it's not the clothes, it is not you. It's just your clothes are in need of a rotation because your body changes. And in fact, it's not a bad idea to have a kind of wide range of clothing sizes so that you have something to choose from when your body changes. If you just only have one size, and then you put on weight or lose weight or whatever the fluctuation is, then we internalize that when the clothes don't fit right, that we did something wrong. So if you can put into your closet just whatever size window you need that you tend to fluctuate in between, get some really nice clothes that you love that make you feel beautiful in that size window. So no matter what your beautiful body is doing, you've got something in your closet to put on to make you feel like a queen. Because it is not you, it is the clothes. Period. The other thing this lovely 20 pounds has taught me is that I have to listen to her. I have been trying to force this body loss, this weight loss in every way that I know how. And she is like, no, we're not doing that anymore. You've starved us, you've malnourished us, you've done all that. No, we are not budging until you kind of get your stuff together, until you learn something. There's something here for me to learn. So because her refusal to change based on what I'm trying to throw at her, I have really had to come into the present moment and listen to her. Check in, tune in. What do you need? How simple is that? And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So I am much more connected to my body than I ever was when I was thinner, which is wild, right? I put on weight that I can't lose, and I'm much more connected to my body than before because I listen to her, I talk to her, I tune into her. What do you need? You're hungry? We went too long without eating? You need sleep, you need extra rest, all of that. I'm much more of a better caretaker of this body temple than I ever was when I was thinner. That's a gift. That's a total gift. And the whole purpose of this video is to teach you that there are gifts in gaining weight. 100%. There are really magical gifts to come from gaining weight or getting bigger because it invites us to go deeper, to figure out what it is. What does it mean? What do we think it means for our body to look this way? What does being fat mean? What does being overweight mean? And there is a whole societal way of looking at it that we've bought into, but the invitation is for you to dismantle that yourself. And as you do it, and more women do it, that's how we shift the way that society sees women's bodies. My body is nobody's business but mine. So it is such a beautiful invitation if you will go in there and do the work. There are gifts and gold and gems in there for you to mine and navigate, but you gotta earn them, girl. You gotta earn them. And I am absolutely positive that this weight will leave my body. I know. The timeline, I do not know, because we're 2 years in and, you know, but the growth of me as a person, as a human, as a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur, as a mother of daughters has been tremendous, tremendous. So as much as it has sucked and been really, really challenging, there is so much gold to mine here. I invite you to go deeper into what does it mean that I'm fat? What am I learning from being overweight? What does it mean that I'm overweight? Ask those questions. Do journaling. Talk it out. But get in there and dismantle that junk, because all it is ideas. Nothing is wrong with your body. It is doing its job in the best way that it knows how to with what is going on. Always. And the last tidbit of gold that I learned from being overweight, from being fat, is that I had to find a way to love my body the way that she was. I had this idea in my mind of what I wanted her to look like, and then I would love her. And I envision this beautiful body, but my love isn't contingent on the body anymore. Because she wouldn't change, I was determined to find a way to love what I looked like. Because, and I want to side note here, if we are always trying to change something or putting off our own love for a change to happen, we will always do that. So if I continue to put off my self-love until I have that body, I can guarantee with preciseness that when I have that body, that there would be something else, because it's a mental pattern. It's not the body, it's the way I think. I think that I will love you when you're this. I will love you when you get this. And it's not actually the getting of the thing, it's the mental pattern of I will love you then. So I came to really, really understand that it's not the body. My love is not contingent on my body. That's just the certain symbol that I put there. It's the I will love you then thinking, which is messed up. It's totally backwards. And you flip that, I will love you because. Enter anything. You're worthy of love because you are, because you exist, because you be. So my body's refusal to change really highlighted that I will love you then patterning, because I'm like, girl, gotta get this body so I can love you. Never the case. So I deeply, deeply, deeply love this physical vessel that I'm in. Absolutely. Do I still want to lose the weight? 100%. Not gonna lie. I want to feel good in my body. I want to feel strong in my body. I want those things. But my love isn't contingent on a body size. I 100% love the body that I'm in now, and I will 100% love the body I'm in tomorrow and the next day and whenever. That thinking is gone. My body is still here. And then another added bonus that is such a pro tip for you guys, start looking at bodies you don't want. Is somebody missing body parts? Missing a sense? Is their skin a way you don't want? Do they have a flat butt? Do they have, whatever. Disabled, anything that you're not trying to bring into your world, look at it and drop into the most deepest sense of gratitude for your working body. Were you able to take a walk today? Were you able to eat without a tube down your throat? These are real problems for other people. But we forget and we take for granted these easy, simple things that we do. But if you start paying attention to what other people's circumstances are and you bless them, you send them so much love, but use it as a tool for you to deepen your gratitude for this vessel that you have. Do you have all of your digits? Can you see? There are people that are blind. There are people that are missing things. There are internal organs that have been taken out. Metal has been put in. You name it. And we have situations where people have been in, and that is their own personal journey. But if you use that as a tool to deepen the gratitude that you have for your functioning, working body. And the more that you deepen your gratitude, the better you feel. There is nothing that radiates higher than appreciation and gratitude. That is the money, that is the gold. So those are the best things that being overweight, being fat have taught me. I hope that you find gems in this video, ideas to expand your way of thinking what the weight on your body might mean. Do come over to the website, amityrose.co. I have meditations, courses. Find me on Instagram. I would love to connect with you. I love you guys so much. Don't I look great in white? Totally. You guys are on the floor because this is a very intimate conversation and my camera represents you. So you know.